all week, all weekends, but you've been waiting basically all month because these qualifiers have been going for what, the past 2 weeks? All right, so maybe not the whole month, but we are finally back. It is the last 6 matches to determine who goes to the grand finals. With me is Isaiah from yesterday. How you doing, my brother?
I am doing fantastic. Excited to be here. Looking forward to these 6 games.
Awesome. I cannot wait. I know that you guys can't wait either. And something that Isaiah and I were talking about a little bit off stream is the fact. Let me just double check and make sure. Okay, my audio levels are actually good. I was like, wait, do I have him unmuted? First off, is going to be Duel, because Duel is one of those teams that we kind of have high expectations of them. They have big names. They're a big name in the community as well. And being in what 13th with 22 points, they have to have an amazing second day, but also with their unique play style, it feels like everything has to go right for them.
Yeah, I will say, yeah, that is agreeable. But also, like on top of Duel is we also have 5-5. The fact that they're just sitting in ninth right now is kind of wild. A little bit of respect between 5-5 and Luminosity. Not trying to run them up, but they're immediately going to send shots anyway, so it doesn't matter. But I think that's smart on Sam to just get out of there because you don't want to get shot out of your vehicle. So, but 5-5 Duel. The cutoff margin isn't extremely high right now. Eighth place is only sitting at 29
Yeah.
points. So it's like they could make a massive comeback, and just 2 good games, and you're in the running.
Oh, for sure. And I think especially after seeing Team Fate, and I mean, because again, we're looking at Team Fate, Luminosity, and PD, and honestly, kind of even Gooners, and we're kind of like, dude, those 3-4 teams should have no problems making it in, especially if the points go top heavy. It should be fine for them. But it is possible for Duel to have. But I think the thing is that we're worried about. And please don't hear what I'm not saying. I love Duel. I love every single player on that team. I think they're great. I think they're fantastic. But their play style just seemingly doesn't work out, and so often we see them crash into compounds that have multiple people, and they just all kind of die, or they lose too many players and then they can't make it in with their full team, and then they're caught in a sliver of zone and everyone just gets shot and it goes to pop, bro. So I think I'm worried. I'm coming at this from a place of worry about my boys from Duel. So I don't know how it's going to play out, but I just hope that they can go ahead and do what they need to in order to make it into grand finals, because again, it's so much fun to see them and I love them.
Absolutely, and it's just like at the same time, it's like the top 8 that you're expecting. Like of the top 8, like I said yesterday before we closed out, is I was expecting Duel and I'm expecting 5-5 to just absolutely dominate inside of this lobby. Like at least be top 5 at this point. But that's just how this game goes. The RNG, the randomness of it, and then you also got a team like Gooners, just the chaos factor that they instill inside of this entire lobby. The way that they just absolutely full send. They don't care how many are there. Full send to center circle and just take a compound and just make their presence known. So that like adds that level of chaos. It adds that level of just unknown. Like, are we safe even though we're center zone? Like no one should come after us. But here comes Gooners, Panzers in hand, ready to just full crash and end your game.
Well, now that's the question, because of what we've seen from Gooners, do we just see them full 4-man crash? Because I think that if any teams have kind of gone back and looked at the VODs, Gooners could literally just straight run into Gatka and crash VHC and FaZe in. Like, I'm at a 50-50 right now. Like, I'm completely split if they're going to do that. Because Gooners, they're just chaotic as heck. And it is simultaneously the most stressful and the most fun thing to watch, period.
100%. They definitely add that high level entertainment factor inside of these quals. We're just watching them, and I hope they make it to finals and I hope they perform extremely well in finals, because like, just having that team, just the fact that they were last minute put together the previous quals and they absolutely dominated, regardless of the fact that I think they had like 2 weeks before the last PAS qual to actually get some reps in, and they still dominated. It's just absolutely insane, and I can't wait to see them in finals.
Yeah, I think that
Knock
is
on
a
wood. Knock on wood. Knock on wood.
well, I think that's a really interesting point, because Gooners, I mean, we've seen all 4 of these players in comp before. Like, this is not, these aren't players that we don't know. We've seen all of them perform at relatively high levels, and it's just interesting that they've now made both their name and their gameplay very similar.
That is true. That is very true. We have seen all the individual players for this team at very respectable levels of their careers, and just it's great to see like just these players just all come together and then
Ooh.
just show what they can do and what they're able to just commit to it. And honestly, I kind of want Duel to come to that same level to where they just are absolutely owning and destroying lobbies, you know?
Well, only time will tell. It'll be interesting to see how it goes out. But 55 taking some shots over at Run It Down as a couple of them make it across, and I don't think they got any damage. It looks like they got one shot on one of the players, but Plushie actually is going to be knocked by Karak, and Ripper, he's close by, but okay, Plushie is actually behind cover. I thought he wasn't for a second.
Yeah, it should be a quick pickup. Ripper playing it smart, not going to go for a full crash to try to see if he can't, you know, pick up his teammate. He's just scouting it out to make sure he doesn't have anyone in his compound. But Karak, the silent mover on a bicycle, looking to try to go and secure himself 2 points, but Run It Down. They're not backing off of this. They're actually coming back to the fight, but Veronica, he's going to get taken down by Sam Crow. Nice little AUG spray, bringing them 2 members up. Smart play, putting him in the vehicle and driving off. That's probably the best move because Karak is coming in. He was ready to just absolutely put them down. Will they be able to get Veronica, though, here? They will not. Sam Crow going to flush out Veronica, and now Run It Down going to have to try to see if they can't regroup. Well,
now the team that is, I don't even know what to call these guys anymore. The craziness, the chaoticness, the goon. We're just going with the goon. All right. Ooh.
Oh, did they get a tire?
He's fine. No. Oh, actually, no, they did. You're right. They did get
a tire. Okay, I was like, whoa, like that wild flip. Oh, come on. Just get in the ball.
They have a little bit of
get in the
ball.
Yeah, get in the ball. There we go. That's good. Oh, that was almost bad for Gooners. Well, you could say that Gooners are, you know, full send red.
That's a throwback to like what 6 months ago at this point. But Ripper and Run It Down trying to escape the clutches of 55, and so far it's not going to be working out for them. Tony finds Ripper, and I think there's only one left. It's just Taste2 alive on to Run It Down, and Gooners, they could honestly still go well, not center compound, but they can go to a decent compound. I don't know if they've scouted it all, but ooh, Pippa with a headshot multi-knock onto Cater with the Moisen Gigante.
Oh, not with the Moisen though. That's wild.
With the Moisen.
I mean, yep, and it does look like Gooners were able to go ahead and get that North Gatka compound. They're able to lock it up, but LG looks like they're about to get into a fight. They see Nevermind coming in for a rotate. They see them out. They have the information that they are behind them, and they're playing it smart to try to go for the hole.
I was going to say.
Oh, Gats, he got stuck on the stairs of the shack, and he is going to be able to crawl to safety, but it's going to have to be a quick attempt for a save for a res here. They thought they were going to get the hold him out, but now we got Watulins. He's going in for the drive-by. He sees the other teammates coming in for the anchor. Bizzler trying to see if he can get his teammate back. Driving around, spotting it all out. Going for the AR spray, but it's going to be Brino. He's going to get the long-range knock with the MK from Nevermind, leaving just 2 members up for LG. Very, very, very unfortunate for the Gents that they were trying to just hold them out, but they ended up getting taken out on the whole. Bizzler, 1-man knock. Are they going to be able to make it happen? Probably not. This is a rough position for them.
Yeah, well, honestly, I want to give massive shout out to Nevermind for actually doing their homework and scouting, because if they hadn't and they've just, you know, kept on going, they could have easily been caught out here. But Snakers and Vox now gonna have to play as a 2-man, but Nevermind, they want these points. They're bottom of the leaderboard, so they need some love. And currently, Luminosity doing very kind charity work, handing over 2 points for not even a knock, which is massive.
That is massive that they were able to take this, as if they had just kept driving up. Nade not going to come long enough. Nice heady onto Snaker is going to bring him down to literally almost like 10 HP. Watulins, Vox going to find the knock though, going to help slow down this push from Nevermind. Vox going to spot out another member. Infinite going for the far right flank. Manages to get a couple of hit points in, but I don't think it's going to be enough. I think Bizzler is going to just bleed out here, but this will give LG a good chance to try to regroup and reset and maybe either get away from this fight or to anchor and turtle back up and try to make something happen within this farm compound.
Well, do they have any vehicles? I was going to say I didn't see any, and they don't. The closest one is the US out there, but it's a bit far away. Richie B is going to go down to blue, and that point is definitely going to go over to Nevermind. Circle does pop, and it's not too bad for Gooners. They could actually kind of take where Mira... I think Mira actually keep the split, no? It might be a bit aggressive. They'll do the 2 in the Gatka, I think.
Yeah, I was about to say, like, they should close that grouping a little bit because, you know, you do have, like, Gooners is above you. What are the odds that they just full send straight into the 2-man? Like, if they get the info that it's a 2-man in main Gatka, they're just going to absolutely full send and do what they can to clear them out and take that.
To be fair, they don't know who is above them. OP going to go ahead and take top of V. That's what I call it. I don't know what else people call it. V, you know? It's a V.
Oh, it's chopsticks.
Chopsticks. Yeah, that's the other one. I was like, I know people call it something else. I have very weird comms apparently for everything. Tastu, the last remaining member for Run It Down, trying to find safety, trying to find comfort. The poor man just wants some safety, you guys. He just wants to be loved. And unfortunately, Firavero is going to show some love, but not the kind of love that he wanted. It was high velocity.
Aggressive loving. Very aggressive loving.
That I don't know if I like that. But Gooners, they decide to go ahead and take the chopstick, and Zer, oh my gosh, she has a UMP. All right, well, shots come in onto Gooners, and currently none of them are going to be taken down, which is massive for them to survive for this long. And Matt, yeah, I think he was a little bit too aggressive with it, and he should get flushed. I feel like they should have sidelines onto this. The smoke should be decent.
OP should have sightlines on it if they get aggressive enough to take over the top, but I think they're worried about the rest of Gooners being in the right side. There, Pippa with the moist nugget flushed through the smoke. That's unfortunate for Simply Matt. A bit of an aggressive play trying to take that. I think if he landed on the house, he would have been fine, but he did try to make a bit of a run to get to that, get to the compound, which unfortunately he was not able to do. Gooners, they're going to reset. They're going to get some smoke lines in so they could try to take the compound and hold the bottom of Chopsticks, which I think is a very good play. I like that play right now.
Ooh, nice shots from Zur and Gooners. This is not going too well for them. And they can't get in that way. They need to smoke out the front side, but OP are going to be able to see it. Bun has to be incredibly careful. And, oh, that's risky, but it works.
No way. They just walk in through the front door.
It works. Hey, you know, sometimes you make it too hard on yourself and you just need to do the simple thing of just doing it. So, you know, Gooners decided to not overcomplicate things and to just go ahead and say, screw it, we're going to do it and we're going to take basic chopsticks. And they did. But OP now going to go ahead and flex out. They have 2 kills. Again, for nothing. So great start for them, and Chopsticks a very commanding position. They have a lot of real estate to play with and a lot of places to push from. So I don't know if they're going to steal a lot of kills, but I feel like this kind of guarantees them like a top 4 spot unless Circle does something absolutely crazy, which is possible because PUBG, but you know.
It is possible, honestly.
I also fixed everyone's logos except for Amigos because I forgot that one, I'm not going to lie. But Empire, look, it looks so clean now. Looks so much better.
That does look clean.
And where's
Wait,
Nevermind?
is Empire 2-man? No, they got the others up on top
split,
of Everest.
Yeah. And then
Okay,
Nevermind, that was the other one. But yeah, I got. Sorry, I'm a nerd, dude.
Well, honestly, think this might circle up around Gatka. I think it's going to go a little northwest here. Like Chopsticks is still going to be in, and Gatka will be in. And then, yeah, that's what I'm feeling like. It's going to go.
Okay.
Hard southeast. Oh, OP in a absolutely favorable spot. They need to protect their chopstick though, because teams are probably going to be looking to send that if they get forced out, because there's not a lot of playability that besides the chopsticks and the compounds, and maybe if you can get into llama, that would be good for them. But otherwise, this is going to be very interesting. A lot of teams are about to just full send straight into one another, see what they can't make happen.
Yep. Well, Gooners, they're going to have some unfriendly neighbors because that's how the turkey crumbles. And OP just going to go ahead and go bottom of Chopsticks. And Empire, I assume, is going to retake their spot. Unless I lie. They're going to go to the other one. That's fair. They don't have the information, so I shouldn't assume that. Silly Bard. The Luminosity has to be careful, too, because they're floating in. Wait, where are they going? Oh, okay. Not too bad, honestly. I like it. Like, no one should have this information because there's no car here. So I don't mind it. The only people that should have knowledge might be TTG 55. I don't know if anyone else was looking at it.
Yeah, maybe Fate. Yeah, because I think Empire had the last information that they had was that, you know, Gooners took the EP into the bottom of Chopsticks, and they knew that OP was getting the knocks from the top of Chopstick in that dip. So I don't think they realized that OP moved down to bottom of Chopstick, and they could have took that bowl at the top of it.
Oh, I have a feeling Zyko. I feel like Resmi might actually try to go and crash onto Luminosity's. But an MG3 from Team Fate taking some shots over, and yep, Resmi are just going to go ahead and chill. But Gabri and Amigo is actually going to go ahead and find each other. DNL, that should be a perfect nade. That's going to get a knock. Yeah. Good nade.
Beautiful
Well
utility
cooked.
usage.
Yep.
Yes.
And wait, he's all by himself up here. It's just Oni, and if he had died to that flying vehicle, that would have been hilarious, but also incredibly devastating for him. But
yeah, that would have been bad. But yeah,
to get
just
2 knocks and to
smacked in
hold
the
this
forehead by a
line,
car.
yeah, to get 2 knocks and to hold the line, Oni is doing work. Laucha from a completely different angle, going to go ahead and get knocked, but also by potentially dangerous. Well, Luminosity, they did get crashed by Resmi, and Luminosity is out.
Unfortunate. You called it. You said that Resmi is probably going to look to try to take that shack from them, and that's exactly what they did. They only took 1 knock as well, which is good. But
DNL going to die to blue. They're just going to leave him.
they left him behind, which is wild because it's a like he could have picked him up and put him in the car and just
That's
drove
what I
off.
was thinking.
Like
Oh, well.
that's going to be tilting to look back at the VOD and see that that was a free res. Like you could have even resed in blue, you know? Like
Yeah,
you
but
know,
you know, hindsight's 20/20. We get to see
20,
everything
yeah.
because we're casters and we had, you know, observer, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So
That is
again,
true.
like no judgment on the players. I get it, you know, nerves, et cetera. I mean, it is LCQs. You know, like what
It
are we
is,
talking
it
about?
is.
LCQs is
That's fair.
massive. So
And-
all right, bottom of Chopsticks is going to be important, but Outlaws in a great spot themselves. I assume the unhappy neighbor is going to maintain. Actually, that blue zone might do some damage onto Icy. You know, not gonna lie, that spray scared me. I was like, am I missing something?
No, not mention. That's just
Not yet.
This-
Not yet,
no,
at
not
least.
yet. This is a very good circle for Gooners. Like they can just keep turtling up, and all they do is just defend. Maybe try not to take too much knocks or take too much utility
Ooh.
usage. Outlaws in
Ooh.
a very favorable position as well. But Duel looking to make a
Oh,
full
no.
send into their
Oh,
bouncing one
no.
another. That's not good. Loeb going down to 1 HP from a very well placed nade. K-Mine down to half HP as well as IQ. Wooly the only one with a decent amount of health. They're gonna smoke. They're gonna try to get a good reset from but it's gonna be Kirby with a third party onto Loeb's gonna get him knocked down.
Ooh.
Good
Nicely
pop by
done.
IQ, denying that Molly send into the vehicles, but they're gonna have to try to work to get inside this compound. They have 2 knocked. K-Mind, Loeb's
Oh,
are
Ice
down.
going down
IQ,
too.
but he ran into the Molly. Just Wooly, last one up. Absolute shams for Duel on this crash from the vehicles mounting one another to just taking massive utility damage. But they have a chance. Wooly is up. He manages to get the res onto Lobes, and he might try to go for another reset, but they're closing in on him. It's going to be very quick. They're going to have to make something happen fast here.
Yep, this is kind of what we were. Well, this is what we were talking about. It was unfortunate how things turned out for the crash. Hitting cars like that, not ideal. But PD trying to third party this, and Loeb's going to go down, and Wooly is just the last one alive, and this not the game 7 start that they were looking for. But now PD kind of bailing them out just a little bit. Gabri going to go ahead and flush him as PD. They're racking up points. I think they're already up to like 4, I want to say. TTG, though, coming in from the other side. Now they're going to have PD's attention, as Oni might not be able to have a spot onto this. They can kind of just collapse onto them, but they don't need to force anything just yet. Wooly is going to try and stay as safe as he can, but I don't know how safe it's going to be for him. Oni does find connection. They're probably going to go ahead and try to push onto that. 55. All right, yeah, they're just going to go ahead and push. Battle X and Devil Vibes, the only 2 up. I feel like as soon as I switch somewhere else, then everything happens. But, oh, nice nade, and
everything
TTG
breaks out.
just immediately go down. Well, Wooly, he did find Laucha. Going to try to go ahead and pick up a point. And he does get that one. Circle about to close, and this circle is going absolutely crazy.
Yeah, 5-5. 5-5 looks like they were trying to make a nice... Yep, they're making a nice third-party play onto the fight between Fate and PD and Nevermind. 5-5 looking like they're going to collapse on top of everyone. They hold the majority
That's
of
a good
zones.
nade.
Good nade coming in. It's going to land right on top of Karak. He was able to get away from it, though, before getting knocked, which is good. Nice reset. Carrot going down to 1 HP. MG3 in the hands of Timfy, who's just been absolutely dominating the lobbies up throughout this entire qual. Good flashbang, but I don't think he's going to be able to make anything really happen with it because the rest of 5-5 are anchoring on from the left. Tater going to go down to about half HP, but you also still have to worry about Amigos, and you have to worry about Nevermind as they're looking to try to get aggressive inside of this fight. But you also need to worry about PD.
I'm sorry, I know I'm switching all over the place, but Empire, they are trying to run away, and Punit's going to go ahead and get knocked, and they're trying to push onto OP. They're all going through the vehicle. Pippa goes down to a nade by Greg Shot, actually. And now they just have one who's inside the smoke. He's sticking the res onto Firavero. Actually, no, I lied. Zer is also up as well. Shimboy goes down to a nade. 2v3. The res did come out onto Silzen. Great stun onto Balefrost. Could not do anything about it. Is that a blue zone? That's a smoke instead. And that Molly will clearly not touch him. This is the chaos of the bottom of Chopsticks. But now Balefrost is the last one alive. Zer finding him.
Oh, this is just anarchy. I don't think they had the information that that Silzen and Bob were sitting in that smoke going for a res.
No.
He gets him down to about half HP. Oh, he's running straight into Zer.
But Zer doesn't know!
Zer's looking the opposite way! He's going to be able to knock and secure the flush instantly, and now he has absolutely massive protections from the last two members of OP. He's going to be able to hold and hunker down, get a nice reset off all the utility from Zer, and try to maybe hold them out, honestly.
I mean, it's a tough spot, especially with circles shifting on to the south. Outlaws, they look like they have prime real estate, but now it seems like they're going to have to move at some point. Potentially dangerous. They're already up to 7 kills. Should be 9 in just a matter of seconds. And they are, and they are doing work this game.
Absolutely owning this lobby right now. 9 kills already, and you're in really good position to just constantly keep peppering and putting damage and kills onto other teams. It's just, this is the game that you really want to see coming in onto this final 6.
Wait, what? All right. I didn't know that that's how that works. I mean, deployable cover, I guess. The nade from Amigos not actually going to get the knock. Molly, I think, from Team Fate. Oh, no, and
he
ran into
it. Oh, no.
Well, the point does go over to Amigos. Their nade is what get credited for the kill. I'm so paranoid about missing fights, man. I just want to see it all.
Yeah.
I cannot tell you. It's literally just like, wait, I want to see that. I want to see that. Every single time a shot rings out, I'm just like, I need the entertainment. I'm so starved for that. I don't know if that's the best way of putting it, but whatever, it's fine. Well, Circle now is shifting. It centralizes up in 55. They're inside zone, and they're taking the fight on to Resmi. Tony not able to find the shots. Balefrost gonna find Firavero, but Silzen gets the return. The rest of 55 starting to push over. Kane, Zyko, Chow. I don't know this one. Is this Chun just on a Smurf? Or on a different name?
On an alt, maybe?
Yeah.
I don't know, Chow.
Well, Team Rezav eliminated, and Gooner is actually going to go ahead and push. Come on, switch me over here. Silzen, the last one up. Icy is down. Circle not closing just yet. I think they'll be able to get the res off of it. Silzen trying to buy time.
He's doing a good job at it. He doesn't have much that he can play. 5-5. Start taking some knocks in between a fight between them and Fate. Goonshot going to go ahead and flush out Faverero, leaving just Silzen, last member up. He does have a lot of smokes, and he could just tank blue. Yep, and that looks like what he might do. No. He's kind of stuck here. He has to go through the Gooners to try to get out in a 1v3 situation. He might just deny
it. Yeah. Well, I think the really bad thing is that Gooners are also in a bad spot. You see Resmi as well as Outlaws probably just going to look over and take some shots. But I guess Resmi, they don't know where 55 or Team Fate are. And Gooners, they have very... Yeah. I don't know if there's much else to be said about that. Silzen is going to go ahead and get down to blue. Now we're in placement points as Icy and Greg Shot have to make a cross against open field and Outlaws. They don't have to go as soon. Spectro finding Icy. And now it is just the Goon Shot GG.
Yeah, and that goes to show you just how hard it can be to use the E pickups. early into a game, because if you get hard shift and you don't secure vehicles on landing and you just take massive damage where your utility gets diminished because you have to make a play to get into somewhere on top of all the utility and health that you lose doing it, and then you get hard fed or hard shifted out of your circle. It makes it very hard to know when to use the EP early and when to just hold on to it. So, but as hard as they're fighting, Greg Shaw is still in. He is still just tanking.
Ooh, nice third party.
He's going to come in for a third party on a Tater. He's going to find the knock right inside of the smoke of the Amigos. Lopez just absolutely doing everything he can. But Timfy, he's going to find Vape. Insta knock and flush with the MG3, leaving just Lopez for Amigos. Last member up. He's trying to spot him out through all of the smokes, trying to see if he can't get this last person out so that way Fate can just collapse and focus on Resmi. As Goon Shot GG is going to get found out, and they're going to get eliminated in 7th.
Well, Timfy, he doesn't have a ton of ammo, but maybe that's not what he needs. And Resmi, it's been looking dicey for them. But, I mean, they're still 4 up, which is honestly amazing for what's been happening to them. They're getting some knocks onto PD. Up to 5 kills. It's not looking too bad. Outlaws was able to make the cross on over. And now is Zyko going to go ahead and try to get a stun. Actually, 55 are just... well, that's not going to work out for them.
Yeah, I think maybe wait for the smokes to bloom a little harder before trying to make that run straight at them, as you only did manage to get 1 knock. Spectro going to find a knock on a Psycho, leaving just 1 member of 5-5 up. Potentially dangerous in the middle of all this. Is going to get taken out by Outlaws.
Wait,
Karak going
what?
for a nice spray onto Spectro. I don't know how Spectro did not get knocked there. It is just Karak up. 3 members for Resmi are alive. Oh, sorry, Bully. That's 2
Nice
members.
shots.
Kane, he is going to find Chow J1 is going to find the last member of 5-5, and they're going to have to get a quick reset because now Outlaws is on the move. They're on the hunt to find these last members. They know this fighting was happening on the top of this hill. They know that the Resmi team is weak at the moment. They are going to be able to get the res off and get a nice reset before this fight with Outlaws breaks out.
Yeah, we're gonna say that we're just gonna call him Chow for tonight. I'm calling it right now, buddy. just save our brains from more headache. You know, we're going through enough. But Yakamazi, it is a 3v4. Outlaws, I think they should have 4 kills because they killed PD. Okay, so they have 6. And Resmi are, what, 7, 9? Oh, good points. Good points from both teams because I know that neither of them have really done as well as they were wanting. But Outlaws with the numbers advantage, with zone advantage, means that Resmi, they are going to have that gun skills of gods, of champions. And it's a high demand, but we've seen the players perform on these stages before. So it is possible. But Spectro, he is going to have 1 massive flick onto Yakamazi. He expects something because you know that he is just waiting prone on the other side. But Spectro, the shot's okay. He gave up position.
Spectro has that information now. He knows that there's a snake in the grass lurking. Utility going to come out, but Spectro already smart. He's already rotating into the zone to try to go group up with his team. They have a good ridge. They have a nice deep ridge that comes down here, so Outlaw is going to have to do a bit of an overextend to try to find the knock or the flush. But Outlaws, like you said, they have the numbers. They have the majority of the zone covered. But honestly, zone donuts up, and it doesn't really favor one team or the other. Everyone's going to have to push out into the open of this massive hill to get towards the dot. But at this point, I think if you're Outlaws, you're just going to kind of sit and you're going to wait and see if you can't get the opening knock before trying to make an egregious play.
Yep, dot's right around where the camera is, and as you can see, there's not really much, if any, cover. Technically, I think Resmi might actually be closer, but Outlaws, especially with the numbers advantage, they can roll with that, you know, just flank one way. I personally would recommend just having 1 anchor and then sending the other 3 to just deathball down the side.
That's what I was like. Are you feeling the west wrap or east wrap on this circle?
I would probably do northeast.
Yep.
I like doing that over wrap around, but I mean with circle closing now it's too late. They definitely can't do it. So they've just kind of given up. If they actually have 1 oversight, I feel like they could push up to this little dip/divot with having like 9 over peak it. Yeah. 9 should just call out that they should push up here. Because Resmi can't
they have nice
overpeak
ridges.
this.
They cannot. No, they should.
And this is kind of like where they should make a play from.
100%. I agree. But it seems like both teams are scared to make that first move because I guess in their minds, whoever makes that first move, whoever overextends or pushes first, like Resmi, they can't run out here. They run out, they die. Outlaws, they can take the space, they could take pressure and just absolutely W key, like you said, into this northeastern side because they do have that ridge and they do have that cover that they could use and have an anchor to protect them from getting overextended on. So, but I think they're just playing this a little overly cautious, if I say.
You know, if it works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't. So, you know, again, hindsight's 20/20 and all that.
Yeah.
But Resmi, it makes sense that they're playing defensive, like you were saying. And Outlaws, the ball's in their court to kind of make a move. You know, zone's about to close. So now, actually, let's check out the util. Only 7 smokes, and okay, now he's splitting it. Oh no, he's using it. Okay, they have a lot of frags though. That's a lot of frags. And Resmi don't have any smokes.
They have.
Jeez.
Ooh, this is gonna be rough for them. But you know, if I'm Resmi, you know, 9 kills, that's not bad considering where they're sitting on the leaderboard. They're very happy with how this game has gone, but they want that win. They could use Outlaws smokes to their advantage, but Zico, he knows that a play is coming, like a rapper from the far southeast is going to be coming into their bowl, and that's what they need to protect. But overextending, you're going to get your head taken off by 9.
Oh, Curvy, he's on the side.
Does Chow have the information? I don't think Chow has the information. Oh, now he has the information because he sees the flashbang coming out. I don't hit him. Oh my gosh, Curvy was absolutely just double headshot into a body shot for the knock, and the instant headshot flush. Now, just up to Spectro and up to Zyko. Last 2 members up for Resmi as the 4 members of Outlaws. They're going to start collapsing on down.
Yep.
Spectro going to get found out by the nade, leaving just Zyko to try to defend in a 4v1. He doesn't have much utility. He's not going to be able to do too much. The spray coming out onto Zyko, and it is going to be 9. Or sorry, it's going to be Kirby that finds them. Outlaws taking a nice winner chicken dinner. First place, 9 kills. Good 19 points. That's going to go great to pole vaulting them into the top 8 here.
Yeah, potentially dangerous. 12 kills, though. They got a lot of points before going down and out. Still, the last 2 teams getting a lot of points there. Very happy with it. Also, one thing that I should say is that MYOO, he told me yesterday that we pronounce it Mew. So, yeah, we're calling him Mew.
It's Mew? Okay.
Yeah, like pronounced